So Paul and I thought, let's put our love of hiking ourselves and adventure and getting out of Ottawa with supporting Christie Lake. Combine philanthropy with adventure. And so that's why you're here. So we've raised close to $100,000, and that's from 2 treks. And the anticipation of a third, because we thought we were going to we thought we were going to Kili in 2020. So kind of delayed anticipation. Okay. So Natalie, would you like to come and speak about?
I would love to, but I'm going to hang out back here.
Okay.
And I'm going to unmask, so I hope that you don't mind. So I can talk a little bit. I'm just going to hang out here because the mouse is back here. So extremely thrilled to see all of you, to see so many people that I know and adore, and of course new people too. Thank you so much for going on this amazing journey that's going to change your life. And I want you to know today that this amazing journey is going to change the lives of kids right here locally in Ottawa. And what Heather was saying is that the group kind of did 2 treks already. However, you raised the same amount of money in 2020 as you did in 2019 for a trip that never happened. But you helped keep us alive during the pandemic, a time that was so hard, where we had to try to figure out how to run these virtual programs and how to make sure that the kids got packages every single week of all of the supplies and activities. So as an example, to try to do virtual cooking, we delivered all the activity books, all the groceries, all of the measuring cups and bowls and all of those fun things, and then we cooked online, which is kind of crazy. So programs like STEM were able to stay alive online. We started a book club that was pretty cute. We did a homework club as well, so that we helped parents out. We also did some really different virtual activities that we probably would never have dreamt of that ended up working quite well for us, like Camp in a Box, which sounds bizarre, but was actually highly successful. So I wouldn't recommend it as a replacement for an actual summer camp, which we were so delighted to be getting back to Christie Lake Camp this past summer. And of course, all of our programs are in full swing right now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. So I'm just going to tell you today a little bit about our history, a little bit of the programs we do, about how the Coin for Kids program works and benefits us, and things that you guys can do to really get involved. So I'll tell you very briefly about our history. So this is a picture that you see from 1923, second year of operation for Christie Lake Kids. So if you haven't noticed already, this is our 100th anniversary, which is very exciting. A lot of people don't realize we've been around that long. We're a historical institution, always local to Ottawa. We got our start with some amazing criminal court judges that saw too many kids in front of the criminal court system. And I'm kind of amazed that there were people who thought this way 100 years ago, but they realized that kids really needed an outlet. If they had an outlet to get out of the city, get out of some of the rough neighborhoods they lived in, they could thrive and really do great things with their lives. And that kind of went on and on. So very early on in the time frame, the organization switched gears and realized that the majority of the kids in front of the criminal court system were living in low income circumstances. And so it became an organization that was going to be for strictly vulnerable kids living below the low income cutoff, what used to be called the poverty line. Sort of to switch gears, Dr. Dan, who many people know and love here, got very involved in Christie Lake Kids in the 1960s, and he developed the framework for the way that we run our programs now. Dr. Dan started a program called STAR, which really helped kids have a continuum of support between camp and back in their city lives. He developed a variety of after-school programs with a component where we evaluate how well kids succeed, and we change ourselves around kids learning in hopefully helping them to succeed better. So we make sure that we take a baseline of where kids are at, both physical skills, social skills, emotional skills, and then we can evaluate them at the end of 10 weeks, at the end of the summer camp, at the end of a full year of programs, and we can really see their growth. Dr. Dan was awarded the Order of Canada for his work with Christie Lake kids, and we're forever grateful. He worked on our city funding, which we still have. I was actually reading this study he did where he developed a program over 3 years, and he showed that in areas where Christie Lake Kids programs were in comparison to other programs or other areas that didn't have programs, there were, over the course of 3 years, fewer crime, less 911 calls, improvement in school, improvement in a wide variety of things, and that kind of has kept our city funding year after year, which is pretty amazing. We are based in research. Like I said, we really want to focus on building resiliency, so our programs are all physical skills, social skills, and that emotional and character skills. Things like teaching a young person to wait their turn, teaching kids to be friends with other kids, and sometimes, for a wide variety of reasons, low-income kids do have barriers that other kids don't compared to their higher income peers. So some of the ways that we're different from organizations in the city, we serve children and youth strictly from low-income households. So we're not sliding scale, we're not a drop-in program. We make sure that we go into targeted communities and serve the kids there that need us the most. So
kids that are there that have said what they...
We absolutely do. Right on the website, we have children, we have teens, and we have parents. Yep, testimonials are right there.
Okay.
A couple of videos.
Here we go. Oops.
Sorry.
Yep.
Well, everybody's shy, right? And what they want, so I get all kinds here. So I'll present myself, Bernard, Club Adventure. I have celebrated my 30th year in the business in September. So that is a long time. 2 offices. This is our 3rd office and probably our last, because we're from next year going to go virtual, as everyone is. Most people don't need an office anymore. I work mostly from home anyways right now, but I do have staff that comes in as well. We are a travel agency that specializes in group travel, tailor-made travel, and we also do some destinations, flights. I do a lot of flights. Some of the itineraries that I build are quite complicated. I have a lot of international consultants that mix and match different continents, so I have to work with that to make itineraries that work for them. And I'm actually extremely busy right now after 2 years of mostly negative stuff, as you can imagine. For a while it was only canceling and refunding for months and months and months. Incredible. But now we are back, hopefully for a long time before this kind of thing happens again. Hopefully never again. So I'll be helping you with whatever needs you have for the trip. As you know, I am taking care of the logistics of the actual climb trip and then the safari extension for those who want. Those who do not want the safari extension, I can help arrange whatever else you want to do. I can also arrange flights. The last group that we were taking care of in 2020 had different itineraries, and it was Monique, my colleague back then, who took care of that. So I don't really know how that happened, but some people are going to be, of course, flying with maybe miles, points. Some people are going to want to do a stop in Europe, and some people will just go and come back. I can help with that. You don't all have to fly together, but whoever feels more comfortable this way, we can set up maybe a list of who wants to travel with whom. And I'll probably come up with 2 or 3 different itineraries. Most people go to Kilimanjaro direct now. They don't need to go to Dar es Salaam. There is an international airport where several airlines fly, such as KLM, such as Qatar Airways. I believe Turkish and Emirates also fly there now. Of course, some of these routes were suspended during the pandemic, but they're all coming back. So I expect most of these carriers to be back in full swing for next summer. I'll have to start checking on who has restarted, but I know KLM is going right now. So I can help with that as well. And I'll be there to make sure that everything runs smoothly. The partners that we have hired in Tanzania for the time are people that I know. I've met them, I travel regularly, and I go to these events worldwide where I meet actual people on the ground. And this is how I found these people. I met them actually in a third country, in Cape Town, South Africa. I went to an event, and they were there amongst hundreds of sellers of products. And these guys were really a good match right away. I could feel it, I had good conversations. So I contacted them along with another company that I knew, and these were the guys that did the best, proposed the best thing for you. So I hope you'll all be happy, of course, and I'm here to make sure that everything works the way you want it to work. And I'm sure you're going to have loads of questions, so whenever you want to start, I'm all ears. You're as shy as for the wine thing. Yes.
That's pretty good. So we're flying over, then what happens? So if you could walk us through.
Sure, okay. When you leave Canada, okay, you arrive in Kilimanjaro, these people are going to wait for you. You're going to have transfers.
So they'll be at the airport.
They'll be at the airport.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll bring you to your first night where you're going to probably all crash after that long trip. But even if you're on different flights, they will wait for you at the airport. So they will have a manifest with some names. And you've seen this as you've probably traveled before. You see people with boards. You're going to get this treatment. And they'll bring you to the hotel for the first night, and then it's the group is together again.
Would you recommend, or is it recommended to go somewhere for a day or two so that you've already gotten over jet lag, or is getting over jet lag taken into consideration
It's
in
very
the first few days?
personal. I don't know what you guys did the last time you went.
We had an extra day to rest after we got in at night, and then we did nothing the next day.
No, but did you stop in Europe or you went?
We stopped in Amsterdam, just for a
Just
few
to,
hours.
okay.
Yeah.
Most people are going to go direct. Okay. You can also go with Ethiopian, which is an airline that flies directly from Toronto to Addis Ababa. This is a 13-hour flight. Okay, so you're bypassing Europe. It's actually a bit quicker. It's a longer flight. That's not for everybody. I don't know who's done long-haul flights here, but 13 hours is a long time to sit in a chair.
Yeah.
So I prefer to personally to go through Europe because you've got a 6-hour flight and a couple of hours and then you continue on. But it's very personal. It depends also on the airline you'd like to fly on. But some people will do a stop in Europe just to relax, and that's permitted. The airlines will not charge you a lot for that. There will be extra tax on the tickets normally. So if you've got friends or relatives in Europe, I can pretty much fix a stop anywhere.
So it's not group flying to.
It can be. That's going to be something that you'll have to discuss, or maybe some of you. We can do it, or maybe in batches. But if everyone wants to travel as a group, I can do that as well.
Is that cheaper?
It's not, you have to be, honestly, I've done a group recently, they went to France, okay? It was more expensive than grabbing a seat sale. The thing about a group fair is you can book this ahead of time, months in advance. You don't have to give names, you just give a deposit. They freeze your seat on the flight, but it's generally more expensive than getting a seat sale to wherever you're going. Also, if you're going to be doing a group fare, it has to be on one airline. You couldn't do the Air Canada Lufthansa mix, that won't work. So it would have to be KLM all the way to Kilimanjaro, or perhaps Qatar Airlines. But you'd have to leave from the city where they fly from. And Qatar flies from Montreal. Ethiopian would fly from Toronto. It's just that if you fly from here, I can connect you, but it's not going to work on a group fare.
I was looking at flights today for next summer, and it's approximately $2,500 return. Is that about what we're looking at?
I think it's possible to do it for less. It takes work, but I've done tickets to Africa for $1,400, $1,600. I'll have to check availability, okay, and see. Let my fingers work a bit. But
So we can think somewhere around $2,000 for the flight.
probably, yeah. In the summer, it's peak season. Things have changed since COVID. Things have changed a lot. Right now, what is selling before anything else on the flight is the premium economy and business class, believe it or not. People saved a lot of money during COVID. They didn't travel, they didn't spend so much, they stayed home. So you wouldn't believe the amount of business class and premium economy. People are paying fortunes, $4,000 for premium economy to Europe, and I'm selling them. And I think they're ridiculous prices as well. But the airlines are sort of trying to make up for the loss of income in the past 2 years. But I do find seat sales as well. I've sold business class tickets to Europe for $2,000 this summer. So let me take a look, and I'll probably communicate with all of you just to give you ideas of what they are right now. I'll tell you if it's better to wait it out a little bit or if it's a good deal. But $2,500, I think we can do less than that normally, but I'll take a look.
What's your payment schedule? All up front? Or is it?
For the ticket, once I book it, it's not my rule, by the way. Once we book a ticket, the airlines want the money in one transaction, and
It's just for airfare? Or for
just
the
for
rest of the
airfare.
trip?
The trip itself, we're not going to have a next payment until probably the spring. Okay, it's just that the group is being built right now, and we have a certain goal, right, of travelers. So until we reach that goal, all you need to do is pay the $300 deposit, and your seat is safe. But once we form the group, I'll be in touch. But my partners are really cool, and they have so much work right now that they're probably not going to want the money until the spring. So you can keep the money for Christmas and
Just go tax time.
yeah, and tax time.
And is that the same with the Safari?
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same company.
With the same company?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that, like how long it is and where it goes, that sort of thing? Maybe in a nutshell.
The Safari?
The Safari, yeah.
You didn't get the link?
I don't think I read it.
Okay.
I didn't have an option to read it, or time to read it.
So I had a
Time,
map
it's busy.
out, but it's, I don't know if we could show it on the computer actually, the link. But in any case, you won't be able to see this very well, I suspect. So you are doing Kilimanjaro. Who can help me? Okay. No, this is the wrong map. Yeah, it's shorter. Okay. Lake Victoria. Okay. So we're here. After the Kilimanjaro, they're bringing you to a national park, which is right here, Kilimanjaro. Okay, that's the first step where you're going to be doing a lot of game viewing, of course. And you're only spending a night here, but then afterwards, the next day, you're going to Kilimanjaro crater. Has anyone heard of that or read about that? You've probably been.
Paul has.
Paul,
Yeah.
okay. Quite amazing. Yeah. It's a 20-kilometer crater, and you have game that lives in the crater. But you also have elephants that go down and up the rim every day. So it's quite amazing because you've got a specific kind of fauna there, unique to that crater. And you can see the whole thing. So you're going to be spending a night in the crater as well, or on the rim actually, with a beautiful view. And then after that, it is the real thing, Serengeti, where you're going to be staying in the park for 2 nights. The most amazing place to see. If it's your first safari, it's the right place to be. Beautiful, fantastic. You're guaranteed to see it all, pretty much. So it's you're staying in nice lodges too, and it's full board. It's inexpensive. Safaris are expensive. Basically, there's nothing really that cheap. The only cheaper option is a camping safari, which I've done and I really enjoyed as well. But this safari was tailored just for you by the company. 20, it's on the link that I sent.
Like 2,600
26
Canadian.
yeah. US.
Yeah.
Which is normal for a safari of this kind. It's kind of normal price.
Just to let you know, I did go into some of the links and I was reminding just now. So the safari, everything is in packages, correct? And what is the cost to Kilimanjaro? What is the, we're going to be staying in at different elevations for different evenings and I'm assuming that it's sometimes in tents and sometimes in accommodation style. No. All tents?
Well, when you're on the mountain, it's all tents, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And do we bring our own tents? Are they supplied?
No.
No.
This is all done for you.
So once
It's
we're
all done.
yeah, so I always wanted to like have more of the detail of. So we land there. We're in a hotel with the group who signed up for it. Is it the next day you start right away?
No, we
No.
fixed it so that
Yeah.
you have an extra day to rest as well. You don't want to start the next day.
Okay.
So you do have, it's all on the link, but I can resend
Yeah,
it.
we just want to
Okay,
walk through while we're here.
yeah,
So we're there a day, and we're just sort of in that immediate area.
They can go into Mushy if they want.
Next morning, we start to hike.
that's right, yeah.
But if they wanted to, they could go into town if they wanted to see
Yeah,
it.
of course, yeah. It's quite lovely actually.
So you have actually done yourself. You've done
He's
fine.
got
Yep.